Hello everyone, welcome to core training. I'm Vicky and I'm a fitness instructor with CFB Wainwright. Thank you so much for joining me for a fun core strength workout. You don't need any equipment for this class, but if you happen to have a mat, it may be helpful since we're going to be doing a lot of work on the ground, so it just may be more comfortable for you. And then of course, go ahead and grab a towel, water, and a great attitude as always. If you haven't done so yet, please like and subscribe to our channel just so that you can get our workouts and enjoy some fun. We have a fun class for you today. We're going to have a quick activation warm-up where we'll also take some time to learn how to really engage our core. And then we have 2 circuits. The first one is only 7 movements twice through, and then the second one is 5 movements twice through. They're going to be a lot of fun. This isn't the type of workout where you're actually going to be drenched with sweat, but it's also so important to learn how to work out your core so that you're strong and stable and that your limbs can actually do their job efficiently and productively so that you don't get hurt, okay? Let's get ready to get warmed up. First thing, I always love to go ahead and get our heart rate going with some high knees. So let's go ahead, get some high knees going. Bring those knees all the way up. Good. Don't be afraid to move your arms as well. Great work, almost there. Keep this up. Good. Next exercise that we're going to be doing is actually going to be butt kicks. You can put your hands right behind your butt. You're going to be kicking into your hands. Perfect. Keep going, almost there. Good. Next exercise, we're actually going to get into a nice world's greatest stretch here. We are doing a dynamic movement. So, coming in, nice wide step. Our hands are coming beside our foot, and you're going to turn facing that front knee. Good. Stepping through, and then coming back. Other side. And again, hands are right beside the foot, turning up, and right to the side, facing that knee. Make sure that your thighs are actually following your hand, pointing to the ceiling. And let's continue with that a couple more times. Good. Getting some nice rotation into our T-spine. Last one. Great job. Next one we're getting into is going to be an inchworm into a plank, and also adding in that downward dog. So, coming in, inchworm, walking our hands forward into a high plank, pushing up into that downward dog, coming back into a plank, and then walking our hands back. Good, let's do it 4 more times. Walking our hands out. Plank position. Downward dog. Back into a plank. Walking our hands back. And up. And go again. Downward dog. Take that time to stretch here if you need it. We're still doing that dynamic warm-up. Last one. Great work. Next exercise that I want us to get into, we're actually going to be down on our hands and knees here. Coming in, make sure that your wrists are right underneath your shoulders whenever you're down, and I want to see your knees underneath your hips. So go ahead and get into a good position here. We're going to be doing the exercise cat-cow. So, we're going to bring our spine all the way up, tuck our head all the way under, slowly doing it vertebrae by vertebrae. And then bring it down. Good, last time. And out. Good. Since we are already on the ground, we are going to turn over. So I want to see your legs right in front of you. We're actually going to involve a little bit of our hips in here, because remember, our core is not just your abdomen. Your core also goes and engages your glutes, your hip flexors, and different areas of your back. Okay? So we're going to make sure that our whole body is warmed up. So we're going to get into a 90-90 position. So did you see my legs just fell over here? I have a 90 degrees in the front, 90 degrees in the back. I'm going to lean forward and then go back. One more time. Go all the way forward and then lean back. Good. We're going to come back into that starting position and do the other side. Good. So see, I'm in a nice tall posture here. My shoulders are back. I'm never slouching into it. And then we're leaning back here. Going forward again. Last time. Leaning all the way back. Good. Now everyone go ahead. Hop right up. We have one more exercise to get our heart rate going, and then we're going to start with the actual core activation. So we are going to end this first warm-up with some jumping jacks. Go ahead and join in. Great work up there. If you guys are starting to get a little bit of that nice glazed donut look, some sweat on your skin, that's perfect. Almost there, a couple more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Shake that off. Grab some water as I'm going to explain a little bit of what's coming next. Okay. We are going to start our workout by focusing on some deep core activation. I want to make sure that during all of these moves that we are doing today, that we're having a really good tight core, and that we're not just going through the movements without even thinking about it. Okay? You should be feeling, or bringing this one feeling of that core activation throughout the whole workout. The deep core muscles act as a spine safety valve. So these intrinsic core stabilizers, they support and stabilize the spine. So these muscles also work with the glutes and the hip flexors, like I mentioned before, and they're going to actually help stabilize the pelvis. The deep core consists of just a couple muscles: transverse abdominis, multifidus, and your pelvic floor muscles. First one that we're going to go over is the transverse abdominis bracing. So we're going to lie on our back with our knees bent and our feet are flat on the floor. Place your hands just a little bit inside on your belly, okay? Inside those hip bones. Gently tighten your abdominal muscles, and you're going to pull your belly button towards your spine. Okay? I don't want a big hollow here. I just want to gently tighten. You should feel your back actually flatten to the floor, but make sure that you're not holding your breath. Okay, we're going to hold this for 10 seconds, so everyone relax. And we're going to start. Ready? In 3, 2, 1. Let's go. We're going to brace your TVA, holding here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Great work. Let's do that 2 more times. We're still lying on our back. Make sure that your shoulders are down and away from your ears. Okay, we don't want them coming up. And we're gonna do that again. So we're bracing our TVA, and we're gonna hold it. Let's go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, release. Great work. Let's do it one more time. I'm gonna jump right into it. Let's go in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 3, 2, 1. Fantastic work, everyone. I like what I'm seeing. This is really good. We are going to add in some pelvic floor activation here. So we are still lying on our back with our legs bent and our feet are flat on the floor. We're going to make sure that we're keeping our legs about hip width apart here. And we're gently going to be resting our hands just either beside you, or you can keep them still on your stomach. We're going to focus on a steady breathing throughout this sequence, okay? So to activate the pelvic floor, imagine that you're trying to stop yourself from basically passing wind or going to the washroom in any other way, okay? That's the feeling that we're looking for. So you should also almost feel a slight lift with your pelvis. Your pelvis is going to kind of turn almost as if you're bringing the bottom of your pelvis towards your rib cage, where some people like to go and picture that belly button coming towards your rib cage, okay? And that's what we want. Your shoulders, your head should still be on the ground. You might also get this gentle tightening of the muscle low down in your abdomen, and that's fantastic there. Okay, so we're gonna do 2 rounds of this. So everyone relax, kind of shake it out if you need to. We're gonna get right back into it. I love keeping my hands on my hips just because I can feel that muscle contract. If you would prefer to keep them on the side, that's okay. Let's go ahead and activate that pelvic floor. Going in 3, 2, 1, let's go. And we're holding again for 10 seconds. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good, and relax. That was really good. A lot of people like to hold their breath during this though. I know it's only 10 seconds, but try to get at least 1 breath in there. Okay, let's go again. 3, 2, 1, and contract. Activate that pelvic floor. Feel that slight lift with your pelvis. Good work. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Now we're going to put it all together. So we're going to start by laying on our back and go ahead and bring your feet into a reverse tabletop position. Legs are actually going to be parallel with the floor, and your palms are going to be laying right below your knees on your thighs. You're going to lift your chin just slightly, and that's going to help you lift up your chest. Okay, we're going to hold that there. And whenever I say, you are actually going to be pushing your hands towards your knees and your knees towards your chest. We're going to be holding this position. In 3, 2, 1. Good, holding, squeezing together. Let's do this one more time for 10 seconds. Okay, so go ahead, shake this out. Remember what we did before. I don't want you to forget to not breathe, and I want to make sure that you're actually pushing out with that transverse abdominis. Ready? Let's do it again. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Okay, now that we are all warmed up, we are going to start with our actual workout here. So, first circuit, like I said, we have 7 exercises. We are doing it 2 times through. So going into the circuit, our exercises are going to be dead bug, where we're going to be doing 45 seconds on one side, 45 seconds on the other. A seated leg lift, again, the 45 seconds with one leg, 45 seconds with the other leg. And then going into a bird dog, again, right arm, left arm, right leg, and into a plank hold to finish it off. We're doing this 2 times, remember, 2 rounds, 45 seconds each exercise. So, starting with the dead bug, we're going to have our legs coming up with our arms pointing at the ceiling. Our legs are actually going to be parallel to the ground, and we're going to be slowly lowering our opposite arm, opposite leg to the ground. We're going to be embracing our core here, making sure that we're squeezing out our TVAs. We're sticking to one side for the whole 45 seconds. If you start to notice that you actually have a big lift in your low back, then you don't have to come up as far, but I want you to almost try to go and squeeze that belly button all the way into your spine so that you're actually going to engage some of those back muscles as well, so you won't get that lift. Don't be afraid to slow it down and be nice and controlled. Now don't forget, we're going to be doing this all on one side, and then after 45 seconds, going to the other. Let's check out the next exercise. So we're going to be sitting up nice and straight. Make sure that your hands are going to be behind your hips. They can be a little bit further back if you want. Our legs are going to be straight. You're going to be lifting one leg up. It's going to be coming from your hip flexors, but the more that you lean back, you'll actually be engaging your core. Once we do the 45 seconds on one side, we'll go ahead and switch over. So for the next exercise, we're going to be going onto our hands and knees. Good. We're going to make sure that our knees are right underneath our hips and our wrists are right underneath our shoulders. We're going to be pulling our shoulders back and almost doing a twisting motion with our elbows so that our elbows are facing forward. We're going to be bringing one arm up and one leg up and bringing it back in. You're squeezing your glutes here, coming in to tap that elbow and knee. Good. Embrace your core. And then bring one arm and the opposite leg up, nice and controlled. 45 seconds on each side, and then we're going right into a plank position. I'm doing a high plank now. My hips are going to be nice and low, keeping it parallel. You can also do a plank from your elbows if it feels more comfortable for you. Make sure that your hips are not very high up. I want them to be parallel with the ground. I'm going to be giving you cues throughout the exercise, so don't worry if you forget anything. Let's go ahead and get started. Let's go ahead and get onto our back. We're getting into that dead bug position. So arms and legs are in the air. And we're going to begin in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. This is the 45 seconds. All on one side, so I'm using my right arm, right leg. My core is engaged here. I am squeezing my belly button into the ground, into my spine. Okay, I shouldn't have a space in between my low back and the mat. We have around 20 seconds here. Stay nice and controlled. Make sure that you're not cheating by bringing those knees up. Okay, we want them parallel to the ground. Good work, everyone. Keep this up. We have 5 seconds left, and then we're switching. 2, 1. Let's switch sides here. Good. Opposite arm, opposite leg. Coming down, the same cue, so making sure that our abs are engaged, our core is engaged. Good. Keeping it nice and controlled. My leg and arm are just hovering off of the ground. We have around 20 seconds left here. We're going to keep going. Great work. The next exercise is starting in 10 seconds. We're going to be sitting up and going into those single leg lifts. In 3, 2, 1. Let's go. We're going to be sitting up. So I'm keeping my core nice and tight here. Good. Squeezing through my abdomen. My arms are back right behind my hips. Straightening my legs and just lifting that one leg off the ground. Good. If you want to lean back a little bit more, you will get a little bit more core engagement. Okay, make sure that you're still squeezing with the core. We have 12 seconds left. We're going to be switching into the other leg in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's switch. Again, if you need to go ahead, make sure that your shoulders are back. We're engaging our core, leaning back slightly. That leg is nice and straight. If you need to do a little shimmy shake because your hip flexors are getting tight, that's okay. We're going right back into it though. We have 20 seconds left of this exercise. Good. The next exercise that we're going to be going into are those dead bugs. Sorry, the downward dogs. Good. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We are flipping over, going onto our hands and knees. Good. I'm making sure that my knees are in place, my shoulders are back, wrists are going to be right underneath my shoulders. Making sure that my elbows are going to be facing forward, so almost going and doing a little bit of a twist here, and then I'm lifting up that opposite arm, opposite leg, squeezing my glute at the top, coming back down to touch my elbow and my knee together, and then going back into that neutral spine where I'm lifting that arm and leg up. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go to the other side. If you need to make sure that your hips are still in place, that they're not rotating, that's okay. Lifting that opposite arm and leg up. Good. Touching with the elbow. Fantastic work, everyone. Keep this up. Try to make sure that you're still engaging in your core. I don't want to see anyone's hips moving a lot. They should be nice and stable here. We have 15 seconds left. Squeeze your glute all the way at the top. Reach as far as you can. We are going to be going right into that plank. In 3, 2, 1. Good. We're going to go into that plank position. If you need to shake out your shoulders, that's no problem. I'm going to be doing a high plank here. So my wrists are right underneath my shoulders. Coming onto my toes, pushing my hips down. Good. And now we are holding that position. We have 20 more seconds and we are starting the circuit all over. No break in between. Make sure that your hips are not coming too far up or that they're going too low, okay? I want them nice in a neutral position. We're holding here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Back into that dead bug. So on our back, hands and legs are up. One arm, one leg, coming to the ground. It should be the opposite arm, opposite leg, going diagonal here. I love working that one side at a time because it really makes sure that you're working equal strength. We have 20 seconds left. Again, slow it nice and down. Make sure that you're not going too fast. Engage in your core. Don't forget to breathe. I always want you to breathe nice and slow and controlled with the exercise. You shouldn't be holding your breath. 2, 1, and switching sides. Good. Going for a whole 45 seconds here. This is the last time that we'll be doing the dead bug. I'm still pushing my lower back into the ground. Nice and controlled. Your core should be burning by now. If it's not burning, try going and contracting it a little bit more. Pushing out with those TVAs. Going slower with your movements. 12 seconds left and we are switching into the next movement. In 3, 2, 1. Good. Everyone's going to slowly sit up here. Good work. Putting our hands behind our hips. Making sure that our core is nice and tight. Sitting up straight. Good. I'm placing my hands right behind those hips. My legs are straight. And that one leg is coming up. Good. Don't be afraid to lean back a little bit further this time. Your arms are just there to help support you. They're not going to be taking a lot of the weight. Almost there in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we are switching sides. Good. Sitting up again, making sure that we're still in that good position. Starting with that other leg. Good. We still want to go and make sure that our core is nice and tight, that we're not getting our hip flexors too much. Lean back a little bit further if you can. You're doing fantastic work. Keep moving during this whole process. I don't want you guys to stop. We have 10 seconds left, and we are switching over into those bird dogs. 3, 2, 1. Good. Now I'm going to switch over. Wanted to get a couple extra in there. So going on to my hands and knees. Good. Making sure that my knees are right underneath. My wrists are right underneath my shoulders. Fantastic. Pulling my shoulder blades back. Elbows, again, are facing forward. And then opposite arm, opposite leg, squeezing through the glute, coming back in. Good. Touching that elbow to the knee. And 5 seconds here, and we're going to be switching. We're almost done this circuit. Keep this up. Good. Let's go ahead and switch sides here. Again, make sure that you're set up nice and your form is correct. Bringing that arm and leg up. Taking it nice and slow and controlled. We have 20 seconds left. Don't be afraid to kind of squeeze your core together whenever you're coming in, bringing that elbow to your knee. But I want you in that neutral spine at the end, squeezing your glute at the top. 3, 2, 1. Good. Finishing up, coming right into that plank position. If you need, again, shake out your shoulders. That's no problem. Going straight up, making sure the wrists are right underneath your shoulder blades, up onto your toes. Squeezing your glutes down and holding this position. We have 20 seconds left here. Get your core nice and engaged. You can almost be shaking. We're almost done. Don't get your butt nice and high. Keep it in a neutral position, so not low. Going back into that neutral. In 3, 2, 1. Good. Holding it. Fantastic work. Now go ahead and grab some water while I start to explain the second circuit. So the second circuit, we're going to be doing side plank clams, 2-part crunch holds, and then standing knee touches. We're doing 2 rounds, 30 seconds of each exercise. So the first exercise that we're doing, it's actually going to involve those glutes. We're going to come up. I'm going to show you on one side for this. I'll kind of show an example of the other side, but we're going to be doing this 2 different ways. So, again, the elbow right underneath the shoulder. My hand is actually going to come up onto my hip, or it's going to be straight up to the ceiling. What I'm doing is I'm lifting that hip, and then I'm going to be doing nice, small clamshells here. Now, if you notice, my feet are not coming apart. All I'm doing is slightly turning that then what we're gonna be doing is we're gonna be twisting and bringing our leg up. So it's almost like a nice little dance move. So we're twisting all the way up and in. Okay? Now, we're still doing this nice and slow. We're actually going to be stabilizing on this leg. Hands are here. I'm twisting that whole time. Ready? And twist. Then we're going to switch over to the opposite side. Great work. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. I do have my trusty timer here again. We are only going for 30 seconds this time, so it's a little bit shorter, but we are going to start on the mat into those clam shells. Everyone get ready, get in their position. Okay, we are going in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We are pushing that hip up and going into nice clam shells. I'm not dropping that hip at all during this. Okay, so I'm almost holding it into a nice high side plank and adding in those nice clam shells. We only have 15 seconds left. Go ahead and push your core forward, so push your stomach and hips forward, squeezing your glutes the whole time. Switching sides, 2, 1, let's go. Flip over, switch sides for me, nice quick transitions. Feet are still touching, hips up. And then opening up. Now make sure that your hip is not turning out like I said so before. That's it. 10 seconds left. We're going to be changing into those double crunches. In 3, 2, 1. Good. So, on our back. Feet are up, parallel, hands behind my head, not actually doing anything though. With my shoulders leading from my abs. I'm going to push up 1, push up 2, and back down. 1, 2, back down. Good. Make sure that you're taking that nice pause in between. Good, we better stand up quick. We're going into those last 2 exercises here of this one circuit. Hands are here. I'm going to have that supporting leg, right? I'm bringing that knee up. Good. Twist each time. Nice soft twist here. Good. Let's go ahead and switch sides. Other side. All the way up. Hands are up top. Going again. Fantastic work. Keep this up. We have one more round of the circuit. So we are going to start again with those clam shells. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back on the ground into those clam shell position. Good, going right away, no breaks. We are almost done. 15 seconds and then we're switching to the other side. Make sure that your hips are nice and high here. You're pushing them forward. And let's switch in 3, 2, 1. Other side. Coming through, hips up, and clam shell. Good. Remember what I said at the very beginning. Your abdominals, your core, actually helps you stabilize your pelvis with your glutes and your hip flexors. So that's why we're adding this clam shell here. Good. Next exercise, onto the back. We're doing those double crunches. Coming in, legs up. 1, 2, down. 1, 2. 1, 2.
It's 8 o'clock.
1, 2. 1, 2. 1, doing a nice crunch in, stabilizing hip at the top. Good. Nice, soft, gentle touch. We're switching over in 10 seconds. And 3, 2, 1. Either side. Hands still behind the head. Stabilization leg. Let's go. Last one. Don't give up. Woo, almost there. Let's go. That core should be burning. 3, 2, 1. If you would like a great cool down, make sure to stick with me here. We're going to walk through a whole cool down to just go ahead, slowly lower our heart rate, making sure that we're safe, and also giving our body a little bit of a stretch. Awesome. So for our cool down today, we're actually going to start just going and staying uptight, okay? Facing forward. All we're going to do is slowly roll our vertebrae down, so we're tucking our chin, coming all the way down. Good. And then back up. One more time. Tucking your chin, coming all the way down. And back up. Good. We're going to do a couple of our movements from standing before we get onto the ground. We're going to cross our feet. The leg that's crossed in front is going to be the same arm that's coming over. We're going to push all the way to the side. You're going to feel this actually come up right into the side here. Good. Holding it here. Remember, anytime that you're actually holding a stretch, you want to do it for 30 seconds to up to 5 minutes, okay, to actually feel it. For this one, all we're doing is those 30 seconds, so you should be still feeling this stretch here. Never go into that point of pain. Good. Let's go ahead and switch sides. So, standing again, nice and neutral, taking that one leg, crossing it over, having that same arm, and going over your head. Good. Try not to go and let your legs lock here. It's really easy to do that. Holding this position. Great work. Good. Coming back up. We're now going to get onto the ground. We're just going to do a couple specific stretches for that core that you just did. So the first one that I want to do, we actually have done this a little bit in that downward dog position, going and warming up. So we're on our mat. We're going to walk ourselves forward, getting into a high plank, and then we're going to be pushing up here. So this is going to be pushing yourself through our chest, through our arms. You can go ahead and let your legs rock a little bit. Good. Come back if you need to. One more You should always add in a little bit of a walk, a little bit of a bike, anything to let that heart rate lower. I'm so happy that you got to join me today for my core circuit here. If you really like this video, make sure to like and subscribe so that you can get lots more from all of our PSQ staff. We love having you here, and thank you again. I will see you next time.